hands, my eyes wide, I got one chance. No sleep till I'm enhanced. Fight hard to keep my stance. Knuckle up, time to buckle up. I got one shot and I won't stop. One goal for the joyride. I'm a champion. Move aside.
Oh, okay.
Are you kidding me?
Taking over the game.
What am I watching? They might just be doing it.
He's a god. He's a god.
Yeah. Oh! Full force, I'm unleashed, so don't speak. Grandmaster, don't sleep. Victory, it tastes so sweet. Knuckle up, time to buckle up. I got one shot and I won't stop. One goal for the joyride. I'm a champion. Move aside. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to the 2021 Playoff Selection Show. With me on the desk are Jonathan Reinforce Larson, Scott Costa Kennedy, and Danny, indicted for bracketeering Lim. That's right, we're on to you.
We're so far away.
Yeah.
Come closer. Come on in.
That was
Yeah, that's right. Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
yeah. We don't bite.
I know we changed the mood a little bit here. It looked a lot more friendly earlier this morning. But no. We're getting to the meat of things. This is serious now. So be gone our pretty Greek outfits and robes and whatnot. Like, no, this is business. That's right. Because friends, family, co-workers also, we gathered here today to fill out the rest of this playoff bracket right here, because the top 3 seeds, that is the Dragons, the Dallas Fuel, and the Hunters, they will get to choose their first round opponents in just minutes. But they will have to go in order, and the top seeded Shanghai Dragons will get their first pick, and then Dallas, and then Chengdu. Now, that final matchup will then, of course, be set with the Gladiators facing whoever is unpicked. Now, do these top teams actually have enough of an idea, enough intel to know what to expect from the teams in the pool Reinforce?
Yes, I think so. I think at this point in the season, we have a pretty good idea of the team's strength and their weaknesses so far. I don't really think there's a team that is a big unknown based on the play insider. Of course, maybe Philadelphia Fusion, that would be, because they've had limited time to actually practice with their members. Of course, Shockwave finally made his way to Korea. Funny Astro as well, playing alongside Alarm in the backline. But for the most part, Atlanta Reign, we know what they like and what they do. Washington Justice, for the most part, we like that they like to play these rush compositions, and they can be a threat with Decay, of course, being the main damage dealer on that team. So I think for the most part, these top 4 teams, they should have a pretty decent idea of what team they want to pick at this point.
All right, sounds like all the teams they can choose from have a bit of a signature to it. So obviously the big question then is, Costa, which are the safe picks for the top teams, if any?
I wouldn't say anyone's a safe pick. This is actually probably the most stacked playoffs that we've ever had. I think all 8 teams have potential to make their run through the playoffs. There isn't sort of like an easy match, so it's going to be hard for these teams to pick, and it might honestly come down to stylistic matchups. Personally, if you were asking me, GM Custer of the Australian team or whatever we have, I would probably... the Sydney Drop Bears, Custer the GM, I would probably go in the favor of maybe the Philadelphia Fusion or the Washington Justice. I think both of those teams have struggled the most out of the top 8 teams that we have right here and haven't looked as incredible in the play-in. So I'm excited to see what the teams choose, because as I said, I don't think it's going to come down to the sort of performances as of late, if not more a stylistic thing.
Absolutely. I mean, that's always the thing, right? Like, seeding only means so much. Sometimes a really good team can just... A really lower seeded team can be their absolute kryptonite just because of play styles that they're going for. Now, Shanghai is going to go up first. So the question is, of course, which one do you guys think they're going for? Is there an obvious choice for the Shanghai Dragon in a stylistic matchup, or?
Don't ask me. I mean, the last time I picked a team, I was on the best team in the world, and we picked Envy, and we lost to them in the quarterfinals, and they went on to win the whole
You're
thing.
the perfect person to answer that question.
Don't ask me. But if you were to ask me, Zoe, the Shanghai Dragons, I think there's a few teams, as Costa mentioned already, Philadelphia Fusion, Washington Justice. Those are probably, quote-unquote, the weakest teams here, based on the regular season. But Atlanta Reign, I think they're a pretty good stylistic matchup, as Costa mentioned here, for the Shanghai Dragons. Shanghai, they like to play this wrecking ball composition. Lip has had immense amounts of impact on the Sombra so far this season. And we know that for the most part, Atlanta Reign, they're going to stick to the Reinhardt and the Lucio, or they will play a double shield composition with Gator, of course, on that reason. Rely on Kai and his heavy presence on that hit scan. So the Shanghai Dragons, they have multiple options here, but Atlanta Reign could be a bit of a pick to throw, perhaps a bit of a loop for the other team.
Interestingly enough, how many times has the Atlanta Reign lost to Shanghai Dragons this season as well? It's not like they've obviously played a lot because Atlanta and Shanghai have both been to Hawaii so much. So it's probably something a match Shanghai's comfortable going into as well. So that could definitely factor in as well.
Yeah, I mean, the
Don't you
unknown
think
can
also
definitely be more
Philadelphia
scary.
Fusion as well, though? Like, because you know, we've seen, I mean, Shanghai Dragons have seen Philadelphia Fusion play during the play-ins yesterday, and not only that, they've played against Philadelphia Fusion many times throughout the season. So I personally think they're gonna choose the Philadelphia Fusion.
All we need now is Zoe to make a case for the shock, and we've done all 4 teams. And then we're
Sure, why not? I just gonna, you know, like get a hard one out of the way, so you know you can do it. That really hypes you up for the rest of the, you know, playoffs. No?
Playoffs, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that worked
why
for you,
not?
Johnny.
That's a great argument. Yeah, that's a great
That's a solid argument. Hey, if you can't win against the best, then you don't deserve to win at all, right? So you might as well just pick hard up on it.
I honestly feel like
I'm
you're
so
just
glad I
like
don't have to do
twisting a
picks.
knife in my belly right now. It feels awful.
Well,
It's
look,
just so
I don't have to
awful.
make those decisions. Luckily, I don't have to do that. But enough of our speculations. The Overwatch League 2021 brackets get set right after this very short break, so don't go anywhere.
Woohoo!
Welcome back, one and all, to the 2021 Playoff Selection Show. I am Zoe, and Danny Lim is with me, and with us are all representatives from all 8 playoff teams. So hello and welcome to the show, everyone. Glad to have you all on board. We have from the Shanghai Dragons head coach Moon. From Dallas, it's a damage dealer Sparkle joining us. For Chengdu, it's going to be off-tank Late Young and GM Luke to help us with translation work. And we got main tank Gator from the Atlanta Reign. Wrapping the LA Gladiators is head coach DPay. And from the Philadelphia Fusion, we have DPS player EQO. From San Francisco Shock, main tank Super will be with us. And finally, from Washington Justice, we do have their damage dealer DK. Now that was a mouthful of introduction. Welcome one and all. We are about to find out who will be facing who in the first round of the 2021 playoffs. So let's get this party started, Danny.
All right, thank you so much, Zoe. Like you said, let's just get right into it. Starting off with the first number one seed is, of course, the Shanghai Dragons. And because they're the number one seed, they get to choose their opponent first. Moon, of course, congratulations on achieving the top seed. Which team will you be facing? 자, 문 코치님 1위 시드로 이번 시즌 프로에 들어오신 거를 너무나도 축하드리면서 1위 시드이기 때문에 첫 번째로 결정을 하게 되겠습니다. 문 코치님, 이번 시즌 플레이오프 상하이 드래곤즈는 어떤 팀과 겨루게 될까요?
일단 만나서 반갑습니다. 그냥 바로 말씀드리면 되나요?
네, yep, you can just go ahead.
네, 저희 쇼크 하겠습니다.
샌프란시스코 쇼크요, 그죠?
네, 네.
Alright, sorry guys, I had to double check. It is set. Wait, let me ask him again. 이거 바꾸실 마음은 없는 거죠? You don't have to. You don't want to change. This is your final answer, Moon? 이거 마지막 맞죠? 이거 맞는 답이죠?
작년부터 정해져 있던 거라서. 네.
Oh, okay. Alright, I just had to double check with Coach Moon, and yes, it is set. The Shanghai Dragons wants to face off against San Francisco Shock. Interesting pick, and Moon added at the end that it was already set even before this year. It was set last year. So I want to ask him about that, Moon. Why did you pick San Francisco Shock? 자, 문 코치님 방금 이제 작년부터 정해져 있던 거라고 말씀을 하셨는데, 센쇼과 첫 번째 경기를 치르겠다 어떻게 해서 마음을 먹게 됐나요?
그냥 계속 이번 년에 계속 보고 싶었는데 이번에 보게 돼서 이게 뭐 이왕 보게 됐으니까 빨리 하고 싶어서 네, 고르게 됐습니다.
Alright, I think Shanghai Dragons are a team, and I really wanted to face off against the San Francisco Shock this season. And now, since we're at it right now, we finally get to meet each other. So why not just go ahead and get it done and over with? So that is why I chose the San Francisco Shock. Interesting pick, and I believe this is gonna be a fire match. And of course, we have to listen from the Super from San Francisco Shock, from the San Francisco Shock team as well. Hey, Super, you can hear me, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Coach Moon and the Shanghai Dragons chose the San Francisco Shock. Anything you want to say?
Honestly, I thought they were going to pick another APAC team just because, like, it was something that they were, like, familiar with. Like, I thought they were going to pick Fusion. I mean, I guess, to me, it sounds like I guess Moon wants like the salty run back. Like I don't know. That's just because he said it was already decided last year. But you know, I guess have fun. Good luck. Have fun.
All right. Let me quickly, guys, translate this into Korean for Moon. 문 코치님 방금 센쇼의 슈퍼 선수가 무슨 대답을 했냐면요. 이게 그러니까 자기는 슈퍼 선수가 말씀하시길 이제 자기는 아무래도 같은 아시아 쪽인 필라델피아 퓨전이나 좀 아는 팀들 중에서 필라델피아 퓨전 같은 팀을 고르실 줄 알았는데 센쇼를 골랐으니 뭐 굴러 거기다가 또 자기가 보기에는 이제 상하이가 센쇼를 고른 이유가 작년부터 이 결정을 했다고 말씀하셨기 때문에 좀 약간의 복수심이 들어간 것 같긴 한데 네, 굴럭이라고 끝에 말씀을 하셨습니다. 마지막으로 네, 문 코치님 뭐 마지막 한 말씀 부탁드릴게요. Any last words, Moon?
네, 굴럭 2. 오케이.
Good luck too. Okay, simple and clean. All right, Moon, thank you so much. Super, thank you so much. Again, guys, first match, Shanghai Dragons versus San Francisco Shock. Now let's move on to the number 2 seed team, and that is none other than the Dallas Fuel. And from the Dallas Fuel, we have Sparkle. So Sparkle, who will you be facing off in the playoffs? 자, 두 번째로 이제 넘어가서 2위 시드 팀인 달라스 퓨얼로 넘어가도록 하겠습니다. 네, 그리고 달라스 퓨얼 팀에 있는 스파클 선수가 지금 대표로 나와 계신데요. 스파클 선수, 달라스 퓨얼은 이번 시즌 프로 어떤 팀과 겨루게 될까요?
저희 팀은 이제 워싱턴 저스티스 고르겠습니다.
All right, Sparkle says that Dallas Fuel will be going up against the Washington Justice, and I just hear Sparkle giggling and laughing, so I'm gonna ask him why. Sparkle, I just hear you laughing. What's so funny? Was there a specific reason why you guys chose the Washington Justice? 네, 방금 스파클 선수가 되게 웃으면서 좀 재밌어하는 모습을 보이신 것 같은데, 네, 어떻게 해서 워싱턴을 고르시게 되셨나요?
일단 오늘 경기 한 거를 지켜보고 있는데 너무 지루하더라고요. 그래가지고 요새 또 기훈이 폼이 좀 많이 좋은 것 같길래 한번 죽여버리려고요.
죄송한데 기훈 선수가 이름이 어떻게 되죠? 기훈 선수가
DK입니다.
DK 선수. 알겠습니다. 죄송합니다. Alright, so Sparkle says that they've watched Washington Justice's game throughout the play-ins, and he says that it was very boring, and he just wants to murder Decay going into the playoffs. And of course, that's spicy. I love spice. Of course, we have to listen from Washington Justice side. 네, Washington Justice DK 선수.
안녕하세요.
Alright, DK. Anything that you want to add? DK 선수, 하고 싶은 말씀 있으신가요?
일단 골라줘서 고맙고요. 일단 저희가 원래 댈러스랑 하고 싶었는데 일단 골라주셨으니까 맛있게 먹겠습니다. 일단 댈러스가 저희랑 좀 스타일이 비슷하거든요. 근데 이제 거기서 더 잘하는 거는 좀 피지컬적으로 우위에 있는 저희가 아닌가 해서 일단 죽여버리겠습니다.
The case says thank you very much for picking the Washington Justice, and Washington Justice, coincidentally enough, really wanted to go up against the Dallas Fuel as well. And both Dallas Fuel and the Washington Justice, they have a similar play style, and it's just that Washington Justice are just better mechanically. Every player has better mechanics compared to the Dallas Fuel. So at the end, Decay also added that thank you for the delicious meal. He'll gladly take the Dallas Fuel meal. All right. I am loving this. All right. Again, let me re-summarize for everybody. Shanghai will be going up against the San Francisco Shock. Dallas Fuel is going up against the Washington Justice. And we're going to move on to the third seeded team. And for this, Zoe, take it away.
Thank you so much, Danny. Those first two feel personal. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, we absolutely love it. We came here for the drama and the spice, and they delivered. Now, we are talking about the Chengdu Hunters next. They are the overall third seed, and we got their very own Late Young and Luke joining us right now. So let's hear it from you guys, from the remaining two teams, which are, of course, the Fusion and the Rain. Who will you choose?
Our selection will be Atlanta.
All right, Atlanta Rain it is. Do you want to tell us why? And also, was this your first choice or was your hand forced by the previous picks?
Actually, I think they're a worthy opponent, but unfortunately, it's not our first choice.
All right, I see. So I'm gonna make some guesses now what the first choice would have been. Probably starts with the W. But yeah, well, let's hear a reaction here. We have Atlanta Rain's very own Gator for quick chat. Are you happy about that matchup? Are you relieved about that matchup?
I
thought you were asking me.
I was asking you, yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty happy with that one. I'd rather. I don't really care who we play, but I'm fine with this matchup, sure. I don't know. Like, yeah, sure. It's a cool matchup. I don't want to shit talk him. Like, it's just kind of weird. Like, it's
awkward stuff, when they're right there. I see where you come from.
I mean, like, I was gonna chirp the D-face some if it ended that one, but didn't end up that way. But,
I mean, you guys can always cross shit talk too, even if it's not the team you're facing off. If you have anything you need to get off your chest, like this is your stage, feel free to do so.
No, yeah, they're a decent team, so yeah, sure, good for them.
Yeah, that's some very mild trash talk there, Gator. But
no, they're actually pretty garbage. I'm not gonna lie, they're actually pretty garbage. I'm not gonna lie. It should be pretty easy.
That's fair. We take it. And now, of course, that means by the process of elimination, LA Gladiators will be facing off against the Philadelphia Fusion. So with us from the LA Gladiators is head coach Deepe, and it's been ages since we actually got to chat to you here on the show. Unfortunately, don't have time for any pleasantries. We have more pressing matters to discuss. And that is your upcoming matchup. Are you happy with how this one panned out for you?
Yeah, I really thought we were going to get Atlanta or Shock, but I think it's great we got Fusion. We thought they were going to be lower in the pecking order. The APAC teams would have played them because they've dominated them all year. So I think getting Philly is great. I'm really happy about it.
Is there any of these picks which surprised you the most? Anything really unexpected?
Just the Shock one just seemed interesting because stylistically, I thought, like what Super said, they would have gone for Fusion in their region, but I think they just kind of want to do the quote-unquote salty run back, and I think that's valid as well. I think that's very, very valid. So I respect the pick from Moonside. I respect it.
Yeah,
that was very alpha. I'm like, I'm down for it. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, the bracket is set. Thank you all so much for participating. Good luck to all of you in the playoffs. However, of course, we do need to hear from EQO as well. So almost forgot about that. Sorry, EQO. OG, coming back in here. Let's hear it from you. Are you happy about that matchup as well?
Yeah, I'm very happy about the matchup. I'm surprised you're happy about it too, Deepe. I guess you forgot about what happened last year.
Guys had better players last year, I think, so it was a little bit different.
We'll see about that. I mean, we'll meet in playoffs. Hopefully you don't regret being last pick. So.
You know, EQO, the calm voice of your delivery just makes him hit even harder. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Well, you know, you can talk the talk. We got to walk the walk as well. So good luck to all of you in the playoffs. We have some really spicy matches coming up. So once again, thanks to all of you. We're going to take a very quick break. But when we return, the desk will be giving our thoughts on all of these round one matchups. So stick around.
Fire!
Hello and welcome back. Well, that is a selection show. It's spicy.
Wow.
It's spicy. I love it.
I love it.
Now behold this beautiful bracket. I've actually never been more excited about bringing a bracket up. Like this one's it.
Yeah.
That's a printout. That goes into my golden frame.
Wow.
Because that's not what I
Guys.
expected to see.
Guys, was it only me? When Moon said San Francisco Shock, I was actually. I really had to double check. I thought I was hearing stuff. I was like, San Francisco Shock, right? No, because Moon just said
could
shock.
be.
I was like, huh? Shock. San Francisco Shock, right? Right?
That could be such a throw
At
pick.
this point, I would like to run it back to before the picks, where Reinforce forced me to say San Francisco Shock. Alas, here we are. I was right all along. I just didn't know about it. Yeah. But yeah, that one felt personal. So let's talk about them. Match number 1, Dragons versus San Francisco Shock. A salty run back, a grudge match, whatever you want to call it. But it's going to be pretty spicy.
Okay.
You reckon this is a good stylistic matchup, though?
Yeah, Joe, what do you think?
Okay, you're gonna go with the analysis. I'm just like straight off the bat, okay? This is not where you want to be mentally. If I'm the Shock, I'm like delighted. I'm like, if I'm the San Francisco Shock, I'm like, oh, you pick us, okay? You dare pick the San Francisco Shock in the very first pick when you did all these other teams. If I'm a Shock player, I'm loving this pick. So I am very surprised that the Shanghai Dragons decided to go with the San Francisco Shock. You know, maybe they'll be extra motivated. Maybe there'll be a, a fire up their bum. Who knows about the Shanghai Dragons? But if I'm a Shock player, I'm like, okay, we got nothing to lose against the Shanghai Dragons. If anything, we're just like foaming at the mouth. We're looking forward to this matchup because it's gonna be great. So I'm really looking forward to this match. Very surprised to see Moon pick this Shock here.
I love the grudge match, absolutely, from the Shanghai Dragons, but I agree with like Deepe and everyone who was really surprised by it because it's probably one of the hardest teams that you could have chosen going into the playoffs. Plus, stylistically, we just saw the San Francisco Shock dismantle a team playing the Wrecking Ball. Yeah, obviously it was the Toronto Defiant, a very, I would say, a simpler piece. But, the Shock is sort of not going in blind into this. So it will be hard for the Shock, but I agree with Johnny. I think if you're the Shock, you're actually kind of happy with this. Try and sort of, you have nothing to lose. Everyone's expecting you to sort of struggle against the best team, and Shanghai Dragons have everything to lose. If they lose this first matchup, they could boom themselves out of the playoffs.
And also, sorry, I'm just like hogging the mic right here. Like, also, if you're the Shanghai Dragons, okay, you stepped off the pedal for a little bit, in the Countdown Cup because you wanted to rest up, you wanted to get ready for the playoffs, you wanted to recharge the batteries, okay? Coming off that as a player, you want to warm up, okay? Put yourself like an easy challenge, maybe the Philadelphia Fusion, you know how they play, you can just play your own game and really shine that way. So that'll be like an easy first match. Coming off a big break and not putting forth your best in the regular season matches to end the season, I don't want to like straight off the bat go against one of the best teams we could have selected from. So
they're making a statement.
I want a 10K
They're making a statement.
warm up. I'm with them. Like I think
they're making a statement. Shanghai Dragons is making a statement.
I like it.
Guys,
I respect it.
Yeah.
The energy you radiate when you're doing that kind of move, that's gonna put the fear of whatever you believe in into your opponents. Like that's.
I just think they're baiting themselves. Oh no,
Johnny! Just because you have PTSD about that from doing the exact same thing doesn't mean it's gonna go badly for them as well.
But this is
not
like
Apex
this is
anymore.
not even like me picking NBA. This is just like me picking London Spitfire to beat the Toronto Defiant. It's just like I'm trying to be a bit cheeky, like like I think this pick is cheeky. Look, okay, if they come out and they win it, fair enough, Shanghai Dragons. You made a statement, but I just can't believe they went there. I think this is pretty major. You only have
Bold
2
move.
lives. If you lose 2 matches, you're out, okay? We got the lower bracket, of course.
Yeah.
But this is just not the risk I'd be taking if I was
I love how this is like the most mind-blowing thing, and you go with that. This is cheeky. It's like there's not a cheeky kiss on the cheek. Like this is a fucking full French on. Like this is they're going places with this pick, and I love it. Now we do have more matchups we need to discuss. Yeah, I took it there, Reinforce. I did. But I want to discuss Fuel and Washington Justice. Now, lots of banter between the two teams, obviously between the players. How are we feeling about this one?
I mean, Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm just gonna say because I thought it was really funny because we're Decay saying that they have very similar playstyle, and I agree to that. But Washington and Decay saying that they are just mechanically better.
Yeah.
A lot of is that a hopium copium? I'm just being honest.
You said they have to come in with confidence. Weren't you the one preaching for confidence?
Yeah,
there
maybe,
you have it.
but maybe
Pick a
too
line.
much confident? Question mark. I don't know. That was like
tomato.
confidence.
It's fine.
Confidence overload maybe, but I mean they did look really nice. Assassin, oh my god, popped off today. Decay, of course, as always. But they're going up against Dallas Fuel. And I love the banter they had, and I know it's going to be an exciting match, but I don't think it's going to be an easy win from Washington Justice, for sure.
All I want to see is Fearless versus Mag, Winston head-to-head again. Remember last time we saw this, back in the May Melee, it was incredible. They were both having pop-off moments on the Primal Rage, and if they do both play this style, then that's what I expect to see. I wouldn't be shocked at all if we saw both teams play Lucio, Moira, Winston, or something along that line that's playing to both of their strengths at this point. So, as much as we say stylistic matchups for some of these other teams, I actually think this is just going to be a brawl head-to-head. It will come down to the individual mechanics of both of these teams of who gets that win.
Yeah, and obviously, I think this is the obvious pick here. If I'm the Dallas Fuel and I'm selecting up the remaining opponents, I wouldn't want to go up against the Atlanta Reign and Kai being a powerhouse on that hit scan. Of course, Pelican has had an amazing season as well. Maybe not even Philly, because they're a bit of an opponent you haven't really matched up with. You know the Washington Justice. But you gotta mention the side storyline here as well. Decay, he was on the Dallas Fuel roster last year. Had a bit of a rough go at it and ended up on the Washington Justice in last year's playoffs. I think, some, not coming from me, some might consider Decay a bit of a brat here, okay? So I'm just saying that Dallas Fuel, I think they have a bit of a problem with that. I think they just want to put the foot down and be like, Washington Justice, you came in this season with tons of expectation. You were supposed to be the superstar team with Mag, Fury, Decay, all supposed to be this amazing team. And I think Dallas Fuel, I think they're enjoying this pick a little bit here, just being able to take the Washington Justice down with the Decay storyline. Hey, even the general manager Tasmo, who was part of that Dallas Fuel roster last year, of course, not the roster, but the team. I think Dallas Fuel, I think they're enjoying the fact that they get to go up against the Washington Justice a little bit more, besides the obvious fact that I think this is a good stylistic and gameplay pick for the Dallas Fuel.
Now, match number 3 is going to be the Chengdu Hunters going up against Atlanta Reign. And it sounded already, Luke and Late Young did share with us that Atlanta Reign would not have been their first pick, but it is what they're going with. I mean, they had to pick and choose between Fusion and Reign. Now, they do have a lot of experience going up against the Philadelphia Fusion, them playing in the same region. Do you think it's safer to go up against something you know versus something which might be a little bit more unknown? Although they did meet, of course, in the Hawaii matches.
I think historically, as we said, the Chengdu Hunters have gotten the better of the Atlanta Reign, so I'm not too surprised by this pick. Pick the evil that you know. I think one of the reasons that a lot of people avoided the Philadelphia Fusion is we don't know what to expect from that team. So if you are the Chengdu Hunters, I think they know that they can play their Wrecking Ball Farah style against the Atlanta Reign, and it has worked historically as well. So I don't blame the Chengdu Hunters for going for it. I agree that this probably wasn't their first pick. They probably wanted to go up against the Washington Justice, probably one of the weaker teams in the playoffs. So I'm excited to see this again. Once again, storylines just popping left and right.
Yeah, and compare this to the Countdown Cup matchup between these two teams. I do think that Atlanta Reign, if anything, no hero pools in the playoffs help this team. Right. You can put Kai perhaps on the Ashe if you need to. Masa can play the Lucio as well. Maybe even throw in a bit of a Sigma there. So I think that Atlanta Reign, this will be a bit of a, not easier, this will be, they'll be more themselves in this matchup come playoffs compared to the ones we've seen between these two teams in the regular season when hero pool was featured. And Chengdu Hunters, they were able to play their style a bit more uncontested, I would say.
Yeah, and the last match we have are the Gladiators and the Philadelphia Fusion. That one's not by choice. They just so happen to have to face off against each other, and I almost didn't let EQO bring back a really good retort, honestly, to what Deepe shared with us. They both seem very happy about it, though.
Yeah, Johnny, what do you think? I think if you're the Philadelphia Fusion, are you happy with going against the Gladiators? Gladiators just coming off the win on the Countdown Cup. they look really good, especially in this style of meta? Or if Philadelphia Fusion, are you confident? Because, you know, EQO did clap back saying we've beaten you in the past, but this is a completely different Gladiators roster.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the other choices here that Philly could end up going against, the Atlanta Reign, you haven't really had a team like that in the APAC region that plays a lot of bunker, those kind of compositions. If anything, I think these two teams, they're fairly similar in their playstyle. Maybe not directly the hero mirror matchups and the hero compositions, but in general, both of these teams, they want to be the initiator, they like to be aggressive, and that's how they're going to approach these matchups. So we might even have a bit of a Washington Justice Dallas Fuel scenario in our hands, which Costa covered earlier, where both of these teams, they'll settle into a composition, whether that is Tracer Sombra, some kind of form of dive, and they'll just go mirror head to head. They won't bother with the compositional advantages like, oh, you know, against bunker we're gonna play Wrecking Ball, against rush we're gonna play this, etc. Maybe we'll just have a straightforward dive matchup here, and I think Philadelphia Fusion, given that they have less experience going to Hawaii, of course, this season, I think they're pretty happy with this pick because they can just play their own game at a comfortable level, and the Gladiators, they'll just have to outplay them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like
okay, I guess I answered Costa's question.
No, yeah, like that was a great answer. I couldn't have said it better myself. The thing that was just going through my head was like the individual head-to-heads were just like popping up in my brain, like Kevster versus Carpe.
Oh yeah.
We got the Shu versus Alarm. There's the tank lines of both have just been really good. Like we're in the playoffs now. I think it just came to a realization for me that we're in the playoffs and the best teams in the world are gonna have a double elimination bracket. I'm so excited.
Could we just look at it? The compositions for these two teams? Like, could we just force them to play like Briggs and Sombra Tracer and maybe like Wrecking Ball? Could we just force these two teams to just play that comp? I'd be the happiest man.
I don't know if you can force it. You could talk to them right now. Just send them a message.
Come on.
Johnny, go.
Gentlemen's agreement. Come on. They do it in Call of Duty. Come on, let's do it in Overwatch.
None of them. I want them to fight dirty. That's right. Now, let's pull up that postseason bracket one more time before we say goodbye. And it looks like we host some bangers on September 21st. That's right, when the games get underway. So here is your official 2021 playoff bracket. But you don't have to wait that long to pick the perfect bracket. That's right, fill it all out at Perfect Bracket. Starting tomorrow, September the 6th, you can go over to pick'em.overwatchleague.com, and if you guess the perfect playoff and grand final bracket,
what do you get?
Yeah, not a statue. You can get $100,000 US.
Boom!
Boom! Mic drop.
I'm getting the bag.
Wait.
Again,
is that including
wait
maps?
for this?
Is that map scorers right? Or is that just get it right?
It got to be a perfect bracket.
Oh, that's
perfect
hard.
bracket.
I'm going to focus on
it's hard, but it gets rewarded.
Yeah. Guys, I've been on it.
Give it your best shot. You don't get a statue this time around, but honestly, for that money, you can get one done of yourself, life size.
Yeah,
How many different variations of the bracket are there? Could I make like 200,000 accounts?
Hey, that's
I'll just giving bad ideas to viewers.
If this is how you want to spend your time, why not?
I mean,
we gotta start activating some ads on that website if that's what you're gonna do. Just get that cash back in.
I'm gonna do this. I think
you
I
got it, Danny. I believe in you.
I'm 4-4. I predicted everything right up until now. I have the energy is with me. I can do this.
You gotta ride that momentum. You gotta go do that first thing tomorrow morning. That's
I'm gonna
right.
Be rich.
Now,
locked in, 100%.
Guys, I'm gonna be. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much, Danny. I can't wait to see your perfect bracket and throw some $1 bills at you. Anyway, playoffs kick off September 21st actually, not 24th. I don't know where that one came from. So yeah, September 21st at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Here are those matches, this time in list form, because we got tired of a bracket and we love lists also. So show some love to the lists. These are the matches. Couldn't get more hype if we tried. Thanks, big shout out of course to the script writers this year around. You guys absolutely nailed it. Big thank you to everyone at the desk and all the teams of course joining us for the chat. They made this as spicy as it gets, but that's it for us. We are saying good night or good morning or good day for now, and we hope to see you again September 21st, 4 p.m. We are done. We're done.
We're done.
4 p.m. September 21st, 4 p.m. September 21st, 4 p.m. Bye guys, I'll see you guys soon.
I don't want to see this. Tear it down.
September
Get rid of this green screen.
21st, 4 p.m.
Oh my god, it's
PST.
Johnny's room.
All right, guys.
Oh my
Don't
god.
go.
Wait, you're not in the
Go
clouds?
and then come back.
We're not in the clouds?